Hello, my dear friends. How are you all? I wish you a very safe and healthy life onwards, and please be safe in this current situation. And today we are going to read the next part of our master, the Sri Ramakrishna Paramhansa Dev's life. Uh, we were in the divine intoxicated state of his life and the different parts of it. Last we came to know that Mathura Mohan was informed about his so called insanity, and he was touched by the pure divinity, the pure bhakti, or the pure love towards God. And what happened next? Let's start to read. Mention is made in the scriptures of two kinds of devotion. In one, man worships God in accordance with the injunctions laid down in the Shastras. He bathes so many times a day, observes fasts, uses this or that mantra, waves lights in a certain fashion, and lays the greatest stress on the various disciplines prescribed by the scriptures. In the other kind of devotion, one does not observe any such forms. One feels such intimacy with God, is so near to Him that one forgets all rules and regulations and acts according to the promptings of the heart. The first kind of devotion or bhakti is called Vaidhi Bhakti. The second is known as Prema Bhakti. The former is the stepping stone to the latter. One is blessed with Prema Bhakti only when one's devotion to God is mature, the outcome of following the course laid down in the scriptures. It is thus apparent that the phenomenal changes in the mental outlook of Sri Ramakrishna, which the ignorant ascribed to insanity, were due to the development of Prema Bhakti. It was the state of being blasted by an excess of light. This transformation came in such a natural way that Sri Ramakrishna himself was scarcely conscious of it. He felt himself completely at the mercy of a tremendous force. He often wondered at his own conduct and questioned if he were on the right track. Hence, we find him going to the Kali temple and weeping before the mother, seeking her advice. As we shall see, his trust in her was never betrayed. Owing to the great strain of God realization, his body became subject to various ailments. One of these was a burning sensation over the entire body, as if his skin had been painted with a caustic. He described it thus later on. At the time of worship, I tried to think according to the directions of the Shastras that the sinner in me was burned, and that I was pure and perfect. Who knew then that in every one there actually lies hidden a personification of evil that can be destroyed? I began to feel a burning sensation in my body from the beginning of my sadhana period. What might this be? I thought medicines were administered by, but all proves futile. One day I was practicing in the Panchavati grove when a red-eyed man of a black color came out of this body, reeling as if drunk, and began to walk about in front of me. Shortly after there emerged from my body another human figure of a placid mien, wearing the wearing the ochre robe and holding a trident in his hand. He attacked the former and killed him. A few days after that vision, I was relieved of the burning sensation which had tormented me for 6 months. As we shall see, he had two recurrences of this sensation later. The scriptures dealing with devotion lay down 5 different methods of worship. The first is Santa, The placid attitude of mind towards the divinity cultivated by certain ascetics, ascetics and anchorites who, having learned from the Vedas and other sources that God resides in the heart of everyone, withdraw their senses from the objects of the world and concentrate their mind on Him as the only reality and the innermost self of the universe. These sages live far from the turmoil of the world and lead a simple, retired life, eating roots or fruits. There is generally a tinge of janama in the in this form of worship. The the Vedic rishis are examples of this kind of devotion. The next way is called dasya, or the relation of servant to master. The reflection on the complex scheme of the universe naturally leads to the conception of a Lord with infinite power, knowledge, and mercy governing in accordance with fixed laws. Many desirous of pleasing this God with loyal service give up all considerations of personal comfort for his sake, thinking to establish thus the relationship of master and servant. The devotion of Hanuman, the monkey god, for Sri Ramachandra is an example. He is regarded as the model of faithful service. The third way is by Sakhya, or friendship. The devotee looks upon his chosen idol as his dearest friend, feels no constraint in his presence, and is satisfied with simply making his friend happy. Arjuna and the cowherd boys of Vrindavan regarded Krishna Das. The fourth method is known as Vatsalya, or the relationship between parent and child. There is no element of awe in it, for the devotee looks upon the deity as his own child and considers himself stronger than the object of his love. The parents of Sri Krishna are cases in point. Lastly, there is Madhura, or the relationship which exists between two lovers. This is the most intense form of attachment, in which the least idea of separation is unbearable. The gopis of Vrindavan are examples. God, in this form of sadhana, is one's sweetheart, a part and parcel, as it were, of one's very being. It is higher than all the foregoing modes of worship and includes them all. So, my dear listeners, thank you for being with me. And today we came to know different forms of sadhanas, and we will, in the next segment, we will explore what form of sadhana after the intoxication, after God intoxication, our Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa Dev took to realize God, or we can say to realize the different forms of God, because he already has seen, or he has already witnessed the mother goddess. So let's start. We will find it in the next week, but till then, let's pray for our betterment of our soul, our mind, and let's be please safe and healthy. So till then, Shubhamastu.